Okay people, this is himself and welcome back to another Armor King Tekken 7 guide. In this video we're going to look at vaulting knee and how it can lead to a green mist tech trap. So vaulting knee is crouch dash 4 and it comes out in 19 frames. It's safe on block and it's also mid, and this is important because all of his other crouch dash moves are highs, so you have to use this to stop people ducking, especially if you want to do chain throws. Now some of you might argue that you can use FF2 or FF4, but those are minus 11 and minus 14 on block, so some characters can punish them even with the pushback. CD4 on the other hand is completely safe, and on hit you get a special knockdown because they can't backroll. What that means is that you get guaranteed follow-ups. The most reliable one is crazy stomps, and all three are guaranteed, so your total damage is 46. What it also means is that on Forgotten Realm you actually get a floor break, and that means that on this stage you have a safe mid launcher. What you can also do is go for the ground throw, and this actually does more damage than the stomps. The only issue is that only the one throw is useful because the two throw is a front facing pull up and nothing is guaranteed afterwards. However, there is a third option. Earlier I said that they can't backroll, but what they can do is tech roll, and since people often use one or two to do that, if they're on the 2-player side they're most likely to tech roll right. Now assuming that, we can set up CD+2 aka green mist. Now this needs to be done as fast as possible and it only works on male characters, but if done correctly the mist will connect and it will actually give you serious plus frames. Now frame data says that the mist only puts you at plus 7 guard frames, and that's true to some extent, but what it doesn't tell you is that if it's on shallow hit like it is here, you actually get true plus frames, and that means that some stuff is guaranteed. The easiest option is back plus 1-2. This comes out in 12 frames and it puts you at plus 6. It also means that you do 61 damage in total, which is more than the stomps. The next option is F1+4 shoulder. Now this comes out in 13 frames and it does 28 damage, so your total is 62. Moving up on the damage scale we have DB24. This comes out in 14 frames and it does 30 damage, so your total is 64. It also puts you at plus 13 guard frames. At 1 frame slower we have F+21. This comes out in 15 frames and it takes your total to 66. It also gets you a knockdown so you can move in for Oki. Also at 15 frames is back plus 4. On its own this only does 15 damage, but with the just frame you can actually do 35, and that's more than F+21. Now in the future I might do a video covering the Oki off the stunner, so if you want to see that make sure you subscribe. The last option I have for you is back plus 3, and this is a bit iffy because on some characters it's hard to get that shoulder, but if you do manage to do it the total damage is 79, and that makes it worth the effort. But there is one more option that makes all of those redundant, and it's this. Some of you probably worked out already, but in case you didn't, you can actually land dark upper, and this isn't a just frame because you can get it to come out in 14 frames, and that means you have 2 to 3 frames to work with. Now I find it very difficult, but I know that some of you can do these 14 frame electrics and consistently, so for you guys this should be easy. What would also be great is if you could do this. Now since the mist gives you plus 16 frames, a generic throw attempt is guaranteed, and since the 2 throw breaks the floor you would get 100 plus damage. It's just a shame that generic throws can be broken easily. Now as I mentioned earlier, one of the weaknesses of this is that it only works on males and they have to tech roll right. The other weakness is that the mist is a high, so even with the characters it works on they can still duck it. But to cover that we can use scissor kick. This will hit those crouches and people who don't tech roll, and the total damage is only slightly less than stomps. The issue though is that you have to input forward just before the move, otherwise it won't work. But even if you mess it up you'll end up on the floor, so the punishment is not that bad. Now in my next video I'll be covering either Hades drop or crouch throws. I just haven't decided which one it'll be. So why not help me out and let me know in the comments which one you want to see, and while you're at it make sure you subscribe, that way you won't miss anything. As always I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did then give me a thumbs up. If you think I've missed something out or got something wrong then say so in the comments. There's more Armor King videos coming, so keep your eyes peeled for that, and I'll see you guys in the future.